Isa sa mga pinaka-paborito kong events na puntahan ay ang one-of-a-kind show dito sa Toronto. Every year, napakaraming artists, napakaraming handmade items. Pero this year, since yung buong bansa natin, meron tayong pinopromote na Love Local, Elbows Up Canada, very strict this year ang one-of-a-kind show. Sinabi nila sa kanilang mga vendors, kailangan dito gawa yung mga produkto nila at business nila mismo dito sa Canada. So let's take a look, and you know what, honestly, ito ang kind of consumerism na talagang big fan ako kasi ang daming mga stories behind these businesses, ang daming mga hindi lang hugot pero yung mga biyaya na kasama sa pagbuo ng mga produkto, ng mga expressions nila as an immigrant, as Canadian. And I'm really into the storytelling of these business people. Pero syempre, yung produkto rin nila sobrang gaganda and really worth the visit. Kakapasok ko lang ng one-of-a-kind show at may naispatan kagad ako na vendor na talagang it's so Canadian. Alam niyo kung bakit. Ang binibenta nila, mga mapa from places all around the world. So ito, Pilipinas. Ito is my hometown right now, which is Stouffville in Ontario. And you can't get any more Canadian than knowing that people come from all over the place. They have roots from everywhere and they've planted themselves dito sa Canada for a new life. Pero naiintindihan nila na ang puso mo, it can belong to two places at the same time. So, nandito tayo ngayon sa Sadie and June and we will look at vintage map gifts. So Kendall, the very first thing I noticed was a lot of maps and a lot of hearts, a lot of maple leaves. You got the Canadian spirit like spot on.
Thank you.
That a lot of us, most of us, our hearts are in two places at the same time.
Yes.
You know, and you know, I was just looking at this map of the Philippines. This is exactly the color of the globe that I had in Manila.
Oh, that's
right?
so beautiful. The stories we get to hear, it's my favorite part because everyone has a connection to a piece and the same map can mean something completely different to someone else. And we get to hear like your story. It's beautiful.
So, how many kinds of maps do you guys explore even before you capture a certain city or a certain town?
Finding the maps is my favorite part. They're all vintage map prints and we have about 1,200 locations all over the world for people to pick from. And we line them up all alphabetical so people could flip through them like an old record shop. But then we do custom if we don't have a place here that they're looking for.
And when did you guys start Sadie and June?
10 years ago, I needed an anniversary gift for my husband. And I'm from New Jersey, he's from Ottawa, and we met in Florida. So there was a lot of travel involved in us meeting. And then when people liked the idea, I taught him how to stitch so he could help me make all of these, save my hands a little bit. And then we built it into a business.
Can you imagine, you know, something like just location where you guys met and then now he learned how to stitch, okay? The things that can evolve from, you know, a lot of things that are just nonchalant at the moment.
Yes.
Right? You just happen to be there, but it's now part of your story. And so, like, I know vintage maps are a little hard to come by now. So I love the fact that you're putting in that effort so people can see, oh my goodness, this is what Toronto looked like 60 years ago.
Yes.
Right?
60, 100, 150 years ago. Vintage maps were so beautiful. They told a story themselves. So I love that we get to take these prints of these vintage maps and turn them into a new piece of art. So people combine their story with the story of the map.
Doon sa cruise na pinuntahan ko a few weeks ago, meron silang piece of art na nasa pader. It's a moss art ng Moana. So gandang-ganda ako, and sabi nung tour guide doon is it's live. So tinitrim nila yung moss, sinesprayan nila. Mukhang low maintenance naman, and dito sa One of a Kind show may naispatan ako na seller. It's called Soul Roots Moss Art. So tingnan natin if it's the same thing. This little corner really caught my eye because it's refreshing. You know, it's beautiful. It's art, but it's live. what got you into moss art in the first place?
I actually stumbled upon this artwork by accident. I was creating something from my own home for a completely different business. And I saw this on Pinterest, I believe, and I was like, ooh, what is this? I've never seen this before. I made a piece, and then I showed somebody, and they wanted to commission a large piece for their family. And it really just kind of, it snowballed from that. I live very close to the forest, so I spend pretty much every day walking through a beautiful rainforest. So that's my daily inspiration.
My goodness. And so these pieces, is it easy to maintain? I mean, of course, it's beautifully crafted.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to just, leaving the forest alone. It's one thing to actually maintain it
Yes.
at your home.
So they're preserved, so you don't have to do anything with them other than keep them out of direct sunlight, because the direct sunlight would prematurely fade the color. All these mosses are mostly from Europe. They have a sustainable harvesting industry there, as well as the preservation industry. We don't have a local preservation industry in Canada, so that's where all the mosses come from.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I put them all together.
One of my favorite things to do when I visit a country is sit down and watch an artist do his or her thing. When I went to Turkey, nanood ako kung paano sila maghabi ng rug. And it's just tantalizing, it's just very hypnotic, therapeutic, kumbaga. And I spotted this Ukrainian artist na ako naman sabi ko, oh my gosh, ornaments. Kasi dito sa Canada, when we have family events, when we have holidays, or mga get-togethers, uso rin yung mga nag-ornament exchange, yung nagbibigay ng mga pang-display, and they give it as gifts. So, kausapin natin kasi napakaganda talaga nung kanyang hand-painted artwork. These pieces are very eye-catching. When did you start knowing that you want to paint ornaments or things that are beautiful enough to display?
I was born in Soviet Union time in Ukraine, and the east of Ukraine, in Dnieper region, where this originated in this called Petrikivka Ukrainian folk art, and it's located in little village in Petrikivka, and was born in 17th century. And I am from this area. I learned from the masters from the early age in elementary school. And then I decided when the war started in Ukraine, I think it's my mission to preserve a culture. And I teach workshops. I make my own product using this beautiful one-stroke paint called Petrikivka. This one-stroke paint recognized by UNESCO as Ukrainian heritage. I have an architectural background. I finished art school, and I decided to quit my full-time job and dedicate my full time to be an artist, to show the world this precious art which needs to be passed from generation to generation.
This is what the world needs. Something that's beautiful, something that you can share with others.
Yeah.
Something that you're very proud of.
Yeah.
And something that needs to be passed on.
Of course.
All cultures, they have activities like they exchange ornaments, they share artwork, they gift each other handmade pieces. But when they find out all the love and the culture that goes behind each piece, then it's even more special.
I'm so thankful to be in Canada, where it's multicultural country, and a lot of people are very interested in Petrikivka Ukrainian folk art.
One of my favorite products from Happy Natural Products, itong shower steamer. Kasi pag medyo barado yung ilong ko or masama pakiramdam ko, nilalagay ko lang siya sa loob ng shower ko and I let it steam. Tapos sobrang bango, amoy spa. It has ginger, tangerine, eucalyptus. So yung combination nun, talagang very, very soothing. It will relax you at the end of the day. So hindi ka naman kailangan congested para ma-enjoy siya. It's really wonderful. Ubus ko na, so bibili ako ng bago. Kasama ko ngayon si Jennifer na hindi ko inabutan sa BGC during Christmas time sa Pilipinas, yung aking very short visit Habol lang kami because she's one of my favorite people in the world. Napaka-talented, napaka-entrepreneurial, and seriously, her products can't live without them. So, chinambahan na natin na nandito siya ngayon sa One of a Kind show. So, Jennifer, thank you so much for letting us bug you a little bit.
No, you're never a bother.
I just wanted to really, this is a form of testimonial, you know, kahit wala ng COVID o kahit meron pa, this really was the best hand sanitizer that I came across.
Ito yung produkto natin na hand sanitizer na na-release natin during sa pandemic.
Yeah.
Kasi yung mga kamag-anak ko, they worked in the hospital. So healthcare, medical centers, hospitals, and as well, marami akong kaibigan na nasa essential workers category, like food service, restaurants, mga ganon. And then, nalaman namin na wala silang magamit na sanitizer. And alam natin sa WHO, inirecommend nila na kailangan mag-sanitize yung mga kamay para hindi mag-spread yung germs. So, that we really put our thinking hat on, yung resilience natin and resourcefulness as being Pinoy, paano natin makabigay ng mga produkto na kailangan talaga ng mga tao. So, nangyari is, the story is really funny kasi pumunta ako sa lahat-lahat ng mga factories. Either sarado sila or they're super big. So one day, nasa bahay yung mga bata, di ba? So nakaano ako jeans and t-shirt. Pumunta ako ng meeting. The one meeting that will meet with me. Pag naghihintay ako, paglabas, mga lalaki na naka-suitcase, tapos naka-suits. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm wearing this, mali yung damit ko. Of that day, I was the one that was awarded the contract. So that was a lab that helped me put this into a scalable form para makalabas tayo ng sanitizer. So, yung mga first batch ng sanitizer natin, actually, dinonate natin. And usually, a lot of times you see my company, oh look, we donated like this and that to this and that. We didn't do that. We did it really silently because that's just we just want to help. It's not really a publicity or anything. So that's how it started. And then the stores knew that we had it. They called kasi walang sanitizer. So that's what. For us, it's the traits of our own hospitality, caring and supporting and caring for others. So that's how it came about.
So talk to us a little bit about what sets this apart. Kasi napansin ko, personally, mas maganda siya sa balat. Hindi nakakatakot yung amoy.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
Hindi siya intimidating. Hindi
Yes.
siya nakaka-dry. So everything that you're looking for in a hand sanitizer, it's here.
Yeah, because as I mentioned, diba, it's for the hospital workers and essential workers. I want it as a spray and go product. So you want to try? As you can see, it's a spray. You rub it, few seconds, and it's dry. So you don't have to wait for it. It's not tacky. It's not smelly. And my fingers, I never use lotion. And it's never dry.
Hindi ka naglo-lotion? Paano
Hindi
ka
ako
dito?
naglo-lotion. Ever.
Meron ako naispatan na vendor, ang pangalan Tangled Garden, galing silang Nova Scotia. Naintriga ako kasi usually when you say Nova Scotia, iniisip mo seafood, marine life. Ito, puro herbs, saka fruits, yung mga produkto nila. Mga jam, mga jellies, ganyan. So, let's check it out. So, Beverly, you're from Nova Scotia?
I'm from Nova Scotia, yes.
So, all of these flavors, how did you figure out, these are the ones that we wanted to bring out? Are they all like fruits and flavors from Nova Scotia, or?
We grow all the herbs that we use. So we have 5 acres of gardens in Nova Scotia, and we grow some of the fruit. So all of our jellies have a herb. So everything from strawberry lavender, which would be more for breakfast. We have a lovely garlic rosemary for lamb and pork and roast vegetables. Or we might do a little something hot dill and cucumber for fish cakes, for egg salads. So we do sweet ones, savories, and hots.
That's incredible. So everything that you can possibly think of adding a little bit more flavor to it.
I always say we add a little sex to the jam.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you wanted to try one, try a raspberry with rose geranium.
Rose geranium. So is that a flower?
That's a flower.
But if there's another one you want to try.
So it just adds a little summer to your jam.
It's like a picnic. I've always loved butter tarts. Nung maliit ako, gustong-gusto ko yung Bulacan sweets. Pero recently, yung talagang sobrang sarap is butter tart na galing Coronadal. So, syempre, ang hirap naman nun na kailangan umuwi pa ng Pilipinas para lang ma-soothe yung craving na yon. So, swerte natin kasi dito sa One of a Kind show, nandito ang Carla's Cookie Box. Sikat siya, marami na nag-feature sa kanila. Galing sila sa Bon, so malapit lang sa atin. So, bago lumaki yung pila, bumili na tayo. We couldn't walk past your little setup here. We love butter tarts.
Oh, thank you so
How
much.
many flavors do you have so far?
I have 14 flavors today. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Delicious butter tarts. 3 of them are being the classics. It's pecan, plain, and raisin. Those are the traditional ones, we call them.
How did you get into the
The butter tart business, actually, it was a little bit help of my son. So my wife used to do cookies. That's why it's called Carla's Cookie Box. So he came up to her one day and said, "Hey, Mom, can I get some butter tarts?" My wife's like, "What's a butter tart?" And she was born in Canada. Her parents are Italian, so she didn't know what butter tarts were. So she researched it, and she says, "Oh, let me try making some of those." And from there, it just blew up to be mainly butter tart.
Okay, we're gonna get a box,
Sure.
but you're gonna have to help me pick out the flavors.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Do you like traditional ones or do you like more?
Well, for sure, one pecan.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask. Because there's always one person who loves traditional.
Yes, and then the rest, I trust your palate.
Okay. I'll give you a turtle.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
It's pecan caramel chocolate, so it's another good one. Salted caramel. I'm going to give you my strawberry sundae. Toffee. What do you think of either a blueberry cheesecake or a raspberry white chocolate?
Let's do the blueberry cheesecake. So this is me in butter tart form. Thank you so much. You start thinking, what does it take to be Canadian? Marami kang stories, marami kang gustong i-express. Meron kang loyalty sa pamilya mo, sa pinagdaanan mo, sa tinitirahan mo ngayon, sa kung ano man ang binibigyan mo ng sipag at tiyaga. And I love the fact that I get to meet all of these vendors. I love the fact na napakahusay ng mga produkto nila. And I know that every year, our horizons are just expanded more and more dahil nakikilala mo talaga ang galing ng Canadian.